Greetings everyone, welcome to another lesson of prepositional collocation. In this lesson we are going to see use of preposition which are used to denote places. So this is by me, Abhinav Anand. This is about me, I'm Abhinav Anand, pursuing English honors from University of Delhi, a football lover, a poet and a traveler. Please don't forget the 3 R's and 1 S, that is do, rate, review, recommend and share my videos. And if you have anything to say, do leave your comments in the section below. So let's begin. So these are the 4 prepositions that we are going to look at in this video. Through, below or under, above or over, and along. So these are the 4 prepositions about which we are going to discuss in this video. And as you will see that all these prepositions are actually prepositions that talk about various places. Something is below or something is under, something is above or something is over, something is kept along, something is through, something went through. So all these things are actually conveying the different places in which context the object, that is noun or pronoun, of the sentence is being placed. So let's move on. So let's say along and through. When we talk about following a line of some kind, a path, a road, a river, or beach or canal, etc., we use along. So where we have this kind of linear progression, linear movement, so in that kind of situation we use this preposition along. So let's see the examples. From this example, I had seen them walking along the road past my window several times before. So this progression along the road, so this is a kind of line, this is a kind of linear progression along the road, so that is why we are using here along. Let's see the next example. They walked along the footpath until they came to a small bridge. So again this linear progression and therefore the use of word along. So let's move on. Let's now examine the use of this word through. So we use through to emphasize that we are talking about movement in 3-dimensional space with things all around rather than a 2-dimensional space, a flat surface or area. So in contrast to what we used along to, we used along in case of road, that was a flat surface, or bridge, that was a flat surface. Here we use through when we have to talk about a 3-dimensional space and the movement is going to be a 3-dimensional movement. So let's see examples. He pushed his way through the crowd of people to get to her. So you can see that there are actually 3-dimensionality. There is actually 3-dimensionality. How? We have this road that is 2-dimensional and the another dimension that is there is the crowd. So there are actually 3 things through which this person is actually passing, and thus we use he pushed his way across the crowd of people. That would be wrong. So we instead use he pushed his way through the crowd of people to get to her. Next example, he enjoyed the peace and quiet as he walked through the forest. So again this 3rd dimension comes in as long as we say this word forest, because in forest there obviously will be trees. So another element that comes here to add the 3-dimensionality are the trees. So that is why we use through here and not along. So let's move on. Above and over. So these 2 are mostly confused as the same thing, and more or less they have the same purpose. Above or over, they signify that something is moving above or something is moving over your head. So we can either use above or over when we say that one thing is at higher level than another. So if a bird passes by, so you can see this example, this picture. So this bird is obviously over the head of this dog. So in order to say this kind of sentence, in order to describe something that is above your level, actually literally above your level, then we use above or over. So let's see the example. Above or over the door was a sign saying mind your head. So you must have seen this kind of sign where the door's height is a little low. So a sign is placed which says mind your head. So the sign is actually placed above the door so that all of us can see it easily. So above or over. She had painted thick dark eyebrows above over each eye. So again this thing of higher level, that is and this is very important to understand that this above or over, the use depends on the relative thing about which we are talking about. So the level of eyebrows to eye, that is what we are talking about. So always there will be a relative thing to which the level is being compared to. So here the level is being compared to eye. So obviously eyebrows are above eye, over eye. But if you are going to compare eyebrows with forehead, so then the forehead becomes actually above or over eyebrows. So you have to be very careful while using this, and you have to understand that it is a relative term and it has to be used in that sense. Moving on. So there are some special cases. Let's see what they are. Note, we use above, not over, when one thing isn't directly over the other. So what is the difference? They can be used interchangeably in many situations, but there are situations where their uses actually differ. So we have examples here which actually show where their uses actually differ. So we use above, not over, when one thing isn't directly over the other. So in that case, if one thing is not directly over the other, we use above. So let's see the example. The castle sat in the mountains above the mountain. So the castle is not exactly above the mountain. So it is built on the mountain top, but there are mountains below. So in order to convey the meaning, we are not going to use the castle. Castle sat over in the mountains, over the mountain. So we are going to use above the mountains, and that is one example. Let's see the next thing. We use over, not above, when we say that something covers something else as in contact with it. So when something is covering something else and is in contact with it, for example, you come from your whatever work you do, you come from there in the evening, and you go on to change your t-shirt, and you place the changed t-shirt over the bed sheet. So the t-shirt is actually covering the bed sheet where it is lying, and it is in contact with it. So we are not going to say that I placed my t-shirt above the bed sheet, because above means that there is some distance between those two things, and there cannot be distance between those two things, because it's not possible. So that is why we use over in that case. A grey mist hung over the field. So the mist was actually in contact, so it hung very low, and that is why we are using over. So if the mist have risen up by the noon, so in that case we are not going to use over. In that case we are going to use above. So that is the difference. Let's see below and under. Below is the opposite of above, under is the opposite of over. And let's see how they are used. It's hard to believe that there is a railway line below / under the building. So this is the one of the example. The second example, her head was below the level of counter and the shop assistant didn't notice her. So you can see this from this picture also, that the girl is sitting below or under the table. So that is it. And this was it for the current video, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.